So starting the test drive in the Enclave here, this one definitely needs a few things, and it's a little rough around the edges, so that's probably why this one is being sent to the auction for somebody else who might want to fix it up or use it for parts or whatever. So I got a little bit of a misalignment here, I think, just a tad. And then again, it could probably use a tune-up. That's what it sounds like. The AC is blowing cold though. Yeah, it definitely needs some suspension work. Let's give it some throttle here. But still rides pretty smoothly. And surprisingly, the powertrain itself seems to be doing what it's supposed to. And again, nice ride here. And this one's getting an estimated fuel economy around 16 miles per gallon, so not the best. But again, a tune-up could probably help with that. But overall, I think if you take care of these cars, they can last you a minute, especially with the 3.6 and the 6-speed. They're pretty durable for the long run. But again, like with every vehicle, you have to maintain it according to the manufacturer, and the vast majority of people don't do that. But again, I was expecting this to drive pretty badly, so I'm actually impressed with how well it's doing. Again, there's probably some up the suspension, whether it needs an alignment or a strut or whatever. Definitely something going on there, but everything else, like the brakes, throttle response, everything else seems pretty normal. And I will say, in terms of electrical, it seems like the blinkers are working fine, radio's working fine. Again, the AC's coming on off as it should. These lift gates are known to go out, but other than that, everything else is in good condition. So I'll give it a little pull here. Yeah, again, the engine seems to still be in good shape. The transmission is still driving smoothly. So again, I'm surprised by that, but in a good way. Around this kind of mileage, usually the Traverses, the Enclave specifically, around that 2009, like 2012, 13, things start to go wrong with them. So just something to keep an eye out for. With any used car with this kind of mileage, you should expect to have to replace a few things or go without a few things until you can afford to or want to fix them. And again, the big thing with this one is that power lift gate. So those struts seem to be out. But again, the heated seats work, windshield wipers work, everything else is working properly. And if you can keep these 3.6s maintained and just kind of keep your fluid change in your transmission, you could probably get 200 to 250,000 miles out of these, again, if they're pampered correctly. And that's before having to replace something. So you might not mind putting out, depending on where you get your car fixed, because that has a lot to do with it. But maybe it's $1,500 for new transmission. Maybe it's $4 grand. You take it to a dealer. It just depends. But if you're going to get another 200,000 miles out of it, these days, that's not bad at all, because getting one of these new is going to be about 55, 60 grand. And this did just throw me a weird shudder. It's giving me a death shake in the pedal. So I don't know what that is. So that sounds expensive, but it didn't start doing it until the last stretch of the test drive, which is interesting. Gave me a very weird shudder there. But again, it might be an easy fix. Might be a sensor, or it might need an engine, I don't know. But just certain things to look out for there. I'm glad it did that so that I could tell you all about that. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2012 Buick Enclave in the leather trim level.